great awakening. There's definitely an awakening happening. Just want to shout out to Black Lives Matter New York. It seems like you guys actually believe in something, and you're not just brown shirts for the establishment, which is what I thought you guys were. But I mean, I still think your organization as a whole is. I just want anyone who supports the organization Black Lives Matter to understand that there are also white men that get killed by police. You just don't know their names. You don't see it on TV. And there's a reason for that. It's because racism and identity politics is just a ploy by the ruling class to keep us divided against each other. At least the Black Lives Matter people in New York, they actually believe in something. They understand that we can agree on basic human rights. And you know, I applaud them for that. And we all need to unite based on this. Alright, it's the establishment's worst fear. Alright, because basically Black Lives Matter, well, and Antifa, but you know, Antifa is just a bunch of like meth heads, criminals, and trust fund babies that, you know, and other kinds of degenerates that are they're just pure brown shirts, and it's hilarious because they think like they're somehow anti-fascist. Alright, but you gotta understand, there's no meaningful difference between fascism and communism. Alright, I know a lot of the Black Lives Matter people are communists, but at the end of the day, fascism and communism have the same result, which is just power and resources consolidated with the ruling class. Communism is a scam to destroy society and culture and just create an all-powerful state. Right? And fascism is just, well, the state has to be a part of everything. So at the end of the day, there's no meaningful difference. Alright, what I would say is we need to focus on decentralizing power. Alright, hey, that's good for what I believe. Alright, I don't know how to classify myself politically. I guess I'd say I'm, I don't know, a classical liberal, a right-leaning, yeah, I don't know. I'm like kind of an anarchist. I don't know, I'm still figuring it out, but basically, I just want to be left alone. I mistrust government pretty much completely. I think most politics should be local. Maybe we need some kind of federal government for national defense, but that should basically be the limits of its power. I don't know. All I'm saying is, for my beliefs and for your beliefs, decentralization is the way. Alright, like if you think that there's somehow this evil racist system that's keeping you down, even if that is true, which I don't think it is, but even if it's true, if power is decentralized, then those evil racists that want to oppress you, like they'll have less and less power over you. So small government, decentralized power, that's the way to go. And we won't have any like crazy psychos trying to stick needles in our arms. See, like, here's the thing, okay? I don't know, probably about half of white people are basically cattle at this point, but black people, at least, like, they still have survival instincts, okay? So they're like, hey, yeah, we'll just let Whitey try this jab out, and we'll see what happens. But, you know, they're not okay with that. They're not okay with you making your own choices. So just understand, like, we're actually on the same side, and they're using like, oh, this racism and skin color and all this other identity politics BS to keep us divided. All right, you remember way back when, I guess it was I don't remember, around 2010, there was the Occupy Wall Street movement, and that was a good movement, but it was pretty much detonated by identity politics. You know, it stopped being about Wall Street and it started being about like your gender and whiteness and like all this other stupid crap. It's just a tool to keep us divided. So there are two takeaways I want you to get from this, okay? If you're on the right or if you're on the left, but just understand that most of the right and left stuff is just political theater. All right, again, it's just another thing to like put us in boxes and keep us divided. But if you're on the left, understand that there's no real difference. There's no meaningful difference between communism and fascism. It all ends up with power being consolidated in a small group in the ruling class. For the people on the right, you have to understand that the military-industrial complex is not on your side. Okay, they've just been fighting these globalist regime change wars that only benefit them. But, you know, it's always us deplorables that are out there fighting and dying on the battlefield while they're getting rich off of it. Okay, it's not defending your freedom, all right? Our freedom isn't in Afghanistan or Iraq or Syria. Our freedom was right here, and it's been eroded for decades. And now it's just being, what should I call it? Now there's just a controlled demolition of our freedom. And the military-industrial complex did nothing to defend it. They did nothing to defend our actual freedom. And I know, like, probably for both sides, these are things that are really hard to accept. But just think about it. You have to start looking at the world as it really is instead of the way you want to believe it is. Like, oh, it would be cool if communism was just like a worker's paradise or whatever, but sometimes you have to throw out political theory and look at what actually happens. Okay, look at the results of communism. All right, do you think in China it's like a worker's paradise? Like in America, you can get a job with like no skill, no education, and you can make more in one day than Chinese workers are making in like a month. All right? And yeah, to all the right-wingers about the military-industrial complex, I mean, just look at our country right now. Look at that scumbag, oath-breaking piece of trash, General Milley. All right, you think he's fighting for your freedom? You think he cares about the Constitution? You know, we gotta wake up, unite. No one is coming to save us. We gotta do this one ourselves. And hey, look, if Trump is gonna be the leader of the free world, he'd better start saying something about this medical tyranny, right? If he doesn't, he's not the leader of the free world, all right? If you're looking for a hero, you better start looking in the mirror.